real change rarely comes in the absence of crisis. And that speaks to so many different levels within us. Like when we're comfortable, there's no real deep emerging drives, something compelling us to really analyze the bedrock upon which we rest. And that change that comes out of crisis, a lot of the times it's done for most people, it's in a panic move. It's reactive. It's not responsive. So the difference there is like a reaction is, so somebody does something that irritates you and you lash out, and then afterwards you balance yourself and you're like, okay, I'm sorry. That was reactive. Responsive is what the Lakota would do when they would sit in council and everyone would speak. But they would speak one at a time. And when one was done speaking, nobody would immediately hop in. There was no interrupting. There was a breath. Everyone would take one breath before speaking again, out of honor, saying like, we do this to show that I heard you, to make sure that you're done, and to also show I heard you and I processed a bit before speaking again. And so I think because it's definitely possible, we have access to our nervous system. You can speak to your nervous system like it's your best friend, and in fact, we should. And when we come into a better relationship with our nervous system and acknowledge that some things seem very urgent, like we need to do something now, but in what state do you want to start creating the next step? Do you want to do it in sympathetic nervous system or parasympathetic? And so for me, the crisis period that we're in is the perfect setting to begin moving in the right direction, which to me is community, and it's reaching out to like-minded people and allowing people to speak authentically and not feel ashamed for feeling or believing in certain things. I have friends that believe all number of things about the shape of the earth and, all different kinds of things that some people would say, well, that's nuts. And I'm like, anyone who feels, bad for having beliefs that they've studied or whatever, come on over this way. Because to me, like we're all in this together, and I have no clue what superpower these people glean from believing things different than me. So I'm like, let's all come together. Let's powwow. Let's talk about what's good about this, rather than being like, did you know that blah, blah, blah believes in blah, blah, blah? To me, I'm like, oh, that's great. I want to learn what that's done to their mindset, how they move forward in the world accordingly because of that.
Yeah.
So I believe that this is the absolute best time to begin moving forward in what we know we came here to do. I believe all of us has something inside us that's like, I have a gift to share with the world. And when we're super busy, we don't share our gifts. We just do the best we can to get by. But we're not here to scrape by. We're here to share our gifts. And in crisis, we are either scared away from that back into where am I safe? And for me, I work with people like, you are safe. And you need to, instead of, what do I trust? Who do I trust? All the news outlets, I don't know what to trust. I'm like, you're looking at the wrong place with trust. Trust your discernment. Start trusting your intuition. When you learn how to trust yourself, then you know when something doesn't feel right, and you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have all the details. You're just like, okay, move slower here and be more discerning. Over here, if it feels like an F yeah, then go for it. And even if you slip up, and it's like, what did you learn from it? I think a lot of people believe the world needs to be a certain way for them to feel happy. And I'm like, no, you are what you need. It just needs to be aligned and oriented in the right way. That's inner work. So
I feel like everyone could go probably 40 to 50% slower than they think they should go.